Hey, Thunder fans, welcome to another episode of Off the Tracks from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub. Brian Tosti here for you, along with this 13th episode of Off the Tracks, right on BloomingtonThunder.tv. And if you're catching the re-air on Cities 92.9, we do appreciate it. You can come on out every Monday at 6 o'clock for the show here at the Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois, and we'd appreciate you coming on out and meeting some of the guys here. We got another great show for you here tonight, and starting off with filling in for head coach Dennis Williams is assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell. We'll also have Jason Kalinowski and Nikolas Koberstein on the mic. But first, let's get to a little bit of a scouting report here for the Bloomington Thunder, as we've gotten a couple guys in the system here already for Bloomington to play as affiliate players. And I know now we're getting towards the nitty-gritty time of the year where you've been scouting all season here, Coach, and just seeing everybody around the country and building that rapport so the team can get ready for the draft here coming up in June or so. How's it been for you this year, and what's it look like for the team?
Oh, it's been good. We're real excited with the work our staff has done so far this year, and with the draft coming beginning of May there, futures draft May 4th, and the entry draft May 5th. We're excited, and we think we're working our way towards being prepared for that. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we have a great support system with our regional guys across the country, and I think we've established a good foundation here leading into the draft.
And naturally, when you're going into a new season, you have guys that you're picking up, but a lot of focus was on the draft in last year. And I know you weren't here for the draft at that point and brought in a little bit afterward, but focusing on the first draft after the first season, there's a lot of things that the team now knows about itself going forward and looking for in the draft. As far as trying to pinpoint pieces, how difficult is it for you watching guys out on the ice and watching some of these young players thinking, all right, well, they're going to fit the system here, and here in the next couple of years? It's got to be pretty difficult.
Yeah. When we're out there, so we're looking for the same type of guy, honest, hardworking, hockey players, and, skill set and IQ. Hockey IQ is obviously 2 and 3 after character and work ethic. So, as far as evaluating talent and players and stuff like that, that's not the issue. It's kind of just working out, exactly where each guy fits and birth year and what league they're playing in. Maybe that's the harder part is, assessing players from league to league and situation to situation. Everything, kid could be playing anything from U16 hockey all the way to junior A hockey. So maybe that's where the comparisons are right there is the different levels.
And there's so many different leagues to choose from in the United States, and a lot of people, if you don't follow a lot of junior hockey, it's a completely different system than any high school. Really, the only high school players that you're looking at, right? Soda, which is the main grouping of teams, because that's where the plethora of hockey players come into the USHL for high school. And when you're looking at different leagues, you kind of have to evaluate which type of player comes from different leagues. And I know we've talked about it before, but what are you starting to notice as you've gone through the motions of seeing different types of players that are being breeded throughout the different parts of the country?
Yeah, I think each region is pretty specific on where their players come from. The Northeast maybe is a little bit less generic when it comes to that. There's everything from, prep school to local high school to junior and U16, U18. And then each region kind of, other than the Northeast, kind of has identified with where the top players generally play. You've mentioned Minnesota. The high school has a pretty strong foundation with their high school system there. Chicago and Detroit has kind of found a niche in their, midget hockey programs, U16, U18 youth hockey. And same with, the regions that aren't, most notably well known for their hockey that are kind of developing here. Arizona has produced some good players. They have some good youth hockey programs there. Same with California. And those non-hockey markets are kind of developing these midget hockey programs that are contending with, the Chicagos and Detroits. And even as close as to us, St. Louis has produced quite a number of good hockey players lately with their midget hockey program. So
We're talking with assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell for your Bloomington Thunder as we get ready for another good weekend for the Thunder. It's a back-to-back home and home on Saturday and Sunday against the Madison Capitals, and you're listening to the preview of it all right here on the Bloomington Thunder's Off the Tracks Coaches Show from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal. You can catch the show live here every Monday at 6 o'clock on BloomingtonThunder.tv, or come on down to the location. We'd love to have you out for some great specials here at Firehouse Pizza and Pub. And obviously, Julesy, when you look to her coming up through the system, Bloomington already has some affiliate players that that looked at to being brought up into the system. We got a chance to take a look at a couple of those guys this past weekend, and Joseph Abadi, who came up and played a little bit of an emergency role for Bloomington with a little bit of sickness that's been going around. And outside of that, you have a guy like Mitchell Matson who came in from Minnesota and already just dove right in, picked up an assist in the first period on Bloomington's first goal of the game. Yeah, two great examples of affiliate players there. We were lucky enough to acquire Joseph Abadi there in a trade, and he's an exciting young player, and somebody we'll look to adding on our roster here in the coming years, months, who knows. And he stepped in and played a role right away, which is exciting to see coming from U16 hockey with the Chicago Mission. He's now back. March 1st was the deadline for players that are currently playing for playoffs here in Midget. So he had to go back with his team, which he's, hoping to make a nap here. Mitchell Matson, another committed player. Joey committed to Wisconsin. Mitchell committed North Dakota there, and he stepped in and helped out right away, with some guys being out sick and injured and so forth, that time of year. It's nice to have some young guys come in and, step up and play a role right away. And especially for guys who are trying to make an impact in the future years and everything. You never want to put too much pressure on a guy, especially when they're starting to everything out, but especially for some of the scene for the Bloomington Thunder, a guy like Jake Slaker, who played in a couple games with the Fargo Force before jumping into a full-time role this season, hasn't missed a game. It really, talking to him and a couple of the other guys on the team, it really does help getting a little bit of action in the USHL before going into a full-time season with whatever team that you're going to be a part of, right? Absolutely, yeah. It's a great opportunity for these guys. It won't be completely new come next year, and to get a taste for it and a feel for how things are day to day, and essentially being responsible with your day to day activities and being a USHL hockey player, getting prepared for college hockey. It's a big step no matter where you're coming from. So to get that taste and feel for it is huge for both them as individuals and us as an organization. We're talking with assistant coach and director of scouting Dan Jewell on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. And Julesy, obviously we've gotten a couple questions here coming in from Twitter, and I know one of which is kind of on the minds of the fans, and I know it's a tough situation as far as the how the team reacts and how the coaching staff reacts at the same time, but it's got to be frustrating for a hockey team when you're going through 4 consecutive games and 4 very, very close calls for the team. And how does it go about that you get the team back focused after a goal is kind of wiped off the board for your hockey club? How do you go back about it and try and regroup the guys to not dwell on that one situation and now move on? Yeah, I mean, it's, playing hockey in general is about controlled emotions, not getting too high, not getting too low. And it's easy to do both those things in this game because it's such a passionate sport, shift to shift. There's ups and downs. And, sometimes there's things bigger, sometimes there's things smaller. But, the players are able to, control their emotions and stay, steady Eddie through it. And no matter what the situation is, are the players that have the most success. So, our leaders on the team really have to come through and, be good on the bench, along with the coaching staff. So, a lot of that has to do with leadership and coming back strong after hitting some adversity, whether it's a difficult goal against or a difficult call by a ref. I mean, it's going to happen to both teams throughout the year, and it's our team's responsibility to respond in the proper way. Always seeing what the team can do through adversity, and that's when some guys really do shine, right? Absolutely, yeah. That's a testament to, best players in the world, is that they're able to play in the most difficult situations, playoffs, and so forth. So obviously you just talked about it, playoffs here for the Bloomington Thunder now coming down the stretch, and it's a tough road here. 12 games left in the USHL season, and really when you look at the schedule going forward, it's a nice group of games for Bloomington. You never want to overlook teams on the schedule, but as far as looking at how Bloomington's played against some of these teams going down the stretch, it really does give you a lot of high hopes going towards the playoffs for this hockey team. Granted, there's still some ground to be made up on Muskegon and Dubuque, who are in the 3 and 4 spots. But really, the sky's the limit for this hockey team right now, and I think it's got to be exciting for not only the fans but the coaching staff to get ready to go for these final 12 games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's similar to the NHL game to game. Any team can win. It's who and have good starts and play consistent for 60 minutes. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter, who comes into a building or who's on the road or, which two teams are playing. Any team can win on any night in this league. And, it's our responsibility here moving forward is to take advantage of our situation, no matter who the opponent is. And, you mentioned maybe we've had some success against these teams previously, but honestly, we're a new team every day. And, every time the puck drops, it's a different team. So, looking forward to bring our best effort and, win a bunch of hockey games and hopefully make a run here.
And one of the biggest things that we talk about with Coach Williams all the time is one of the things of consistency in junior hockey. You never know which team you're going to get out on the ice because, again, you're dealing with guys who are 16, 17, 18, 19 years old who are still going through the motions of starting to develop, and people are going to have off games at times, and guys really need to see that at times. And for your team, one of the biggest adversity problems right now is having 3 guys who are out of the lineup right now and really having to play some solid hockey without 3 guys in Butchers Kafari, Alec Marin, and Tarek Baker. And what's been the key, especially losing a guy like Shane Bednard on Saturday or Sunday night, I should say, what has been the toughest part about getting new guys in the lineup and trying to get them to stick to the systems and win hockey games here?
Yeah, I don't know if it's too difficult. It's just, playing the right way and, just having that next man up mentality and, our younger guys taking up bigger roles. And, we've played a, pretty similar brand of hockey throughout the season. So, our guys that have been with us throughout the whole year, nothing really has changed. So some few more minutes here and there. And, hopefully we get some more out of guys taking better opportunities here. And, there's no reason why we can't with what we have, in our lineup each night. Just because we're missing a couple guys here and there, there's no reason why we can't have success. I mean, it's that time of year. We've been kind of fortunate this year, actually, with injuries until most recently. So, it's kind of having the balance of the season there. It's just how it goes.
We're finishing up here with Assistant Coach and Director of Scouting, Dan Jewell, for your Bloomington Thunder as we get set for another tough weekend. Saturday and Sunday, both games in a back-to-back 7 o'clock at the Coliseum. Definitely head on to Bloomington Thunder's social media pages and also around town. There are $7 ticket vouchers with a free popcorn included in that. You definitely want to take advantage of that deal and come on out to Pack the House night and Paws and Pucks night coming up on Saturday. Definitely another good one for Bloomington. And a tough opponent here coming in against the Madison Capitals. I think the biggest question is 2 expansion franchises coming in, 2 teams battling for that playoff mentality. Who comes away more so Saturday matchup?
I think as I mentioned earlier, it starts with that good start and having that passion and intensity right off the bat. Maybe some games lately we haven't had that, and we've paid the price because of it. And it's just playing our game and within our system and how we want to play. And honestly, in this league, there's a lot of good goaltenders. So it's just, continuing to get pucks and bodies in front of the net and getting those dirty goals. It's that time of year where, it's that playoff hockey mentality where no goals are going to come easy. So you have to be able to muck and grind, get to the dirty areas and score the ugly goals here at this time of year.
Well, Coach, best of luck this weekend. I know it's always going to be a battle here. Madison Capital is not an easy out, and definitely keep logging some miles on the rental cars,
Yeah, happy to help out.
That's the Assistant Coach and Director of Scouting, Dan Jewell, for your Bloomington Thunder. Stick around. We'll be right back right after this quick break. We'll have Jason Kalinowski, and then after him, Nikolas Koberstein on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal.
The Bloomington Thunder have burst onto the USHL scene at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum. Ticket plans for the Thunder season can be purchased through the Thunder office, so call 309-434-2980 to get your tickets today. Bloomington Thunder Hockey will sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Wow, look at all our signage in here.
I did that.
You design signs?
Fast Signs does. I send them ideas and logos through fastsigns.com, and they deliver innovative sign solutions.
But that must take all season.
Not at all. Fast Signs create signs on almost any surface, any size and quantity, in no time at all.
They're almost as talented as me.
You should take a time out.
Country Financial rep Richard Pittman has been to every home game since 1981, which is why on game night, you won't find him in the office. You'll find him cheering on his favorite team.
Section 223.
After all these years, he's gotten to know his neighbors in the stands pretty well. He's even helped some of them with their policies.
Let's see. Oh, there's Jim and Colleen in row M, Bill and Linda in row P, and Pete and his sons, Brandon and Kurt in row K.
You get the idea. Richard loves hockey, and he loves helping his community. It's why Country Financial offers everything from auto, home, and life insurance to business, retirement, and college savings, too. So now everyone in Section 223 can relax and think about the things that really matter.
Like our third line defense.
For more information on making a game plan of your own, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Go your own way.
Starplex Cinemas in Normal, Illinois features state-of-the-art sound and 100% digital projection. Relax and enjoy our spacious rocker seating along with our great low ticket prices. All shows before 6 p.m. are $6 and kids, seniors, and students pay $6 all day long. Starplex also offers $1 hot dogs and a free loyalty program where you receive 1 point for every dollar spent at concessions and the box office. Redeem your points for free popcorn, drinks, and even movie tickets. For tickets and showtimes, visit starplexcinemas.com.
From the moment you walk through our doors to the moment you take your new vehicle home, we'll take care of you every step of the way. At Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, we don't just welcome you to our dealership, we welcome you to our family. We have the largest selection of new Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles in Central Illinois, as well as a fine selection of quality pre-owned vehicles to fit any budget. No matter how much you spend on a vehicle, at Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, you'll get world-class service every time you walk through our doors. Visit us today at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
At Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, our patients' first philosophy is no empty promise. A dedicated team of physical and occupational therapists. We're here whenever you need us. With over 170 locations, we offer morning and evening appointments. Just call 877-97-REHAB. That's 877-977-3422. Or visit acceleratedrehab.com. Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, putting patients first.
On the go, carry your branch with you, securely accessing your money anytime, anywhere. Download the Busey mobile app to deposit checks, view recent transactions, find a branch or ATM, transfer funds, and even pay bills, all on your schedule. Visit Busey.com or your app store today for Busey's innovative banking solutions. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come on down to the Great Harvest Bread Company and try our specialty breads made in-house daily. We make our bread fresh every day using ingredients from all local Bloomington businesses. Check out our website, greatharvestblm.com, for a list of our daily specials, including sweets, soups, and jams. We also have Goodbye Gluten Tuesdays and No Nut Fridays for anyone with allergies. Need something for a special occasion? Let us create a gift box for you. So stop by the Great Harvest Bread Company at 1704 Eastland Drive in Bloomington, open 7 to 6 Tuesday through Friday and 7 to 5 on Saturdays, or give us a call at 662-8500 and try us today.
There are many reasons to change cars.
I want a lower payment. Now,
I need better mileage. We're ready for more room. Frankly, I just hate my old car.
What's right for one person might not be right for you. SEFQ helps you get the car you want and a loan payment that fits your budget with low rates and no hidden fees. Call Phone a Loan and get a pre-approved loan in minutes. SEFQ, not a bank. Better.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Second segment of the Firehouse Pizza and Pub Off the Track show, and we're here with your forward, Jason Kalinowski, for your Bloomington Thunder. Let's give a round of applause here for J-Cal coming on up to the mic here. Anybody? Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
We got a couple here. And obviously, J-Cal, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Thanks for taking the time here and to come on up. And obviously, another group of games coming up towards the end of the season. And you're a guy who was fresh into this hockey team earlier in the season, brought over from the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. And I think first and foremost, how's it been getting to know Bloomington and being here in this town?
It's been pretty good. Each place is kind of the same, so it's just kind of meeting new people and just getting accustomed to things here.
And just kind of being used to a new locker room. I know it takes time for everybody to get used to being in a different place, and everybody kind of has their own take on how long it takes and to get used to a new locker room. But I think talking to a lot of guys, the locker room has been pretty even keel, and everybody really seems to get along in the room. Is that the reaction that you've gotten since being here?
Yeah, I think everyone's pretty close. Everyone likes to joke around with each other, so keeping positive vibes in there is
we'll try and kind of stay away from the ice, but first before we go and talk about off the ice stuff for you, one of the big things that happened this past weekend was you picked up a goal, and it was the first one of the season for you. And obviously, just what was it like just getting the monkey off your back and picking up the marker?
Just probably about time. Glad to get it over with though, so just keep going now.
And you're a guy who too is committed to New Hampshire, and a guy from the East Coast like myself and assistant coach Dan Jewell, both guys from New York. And just being from the East Coast and moving out to the Midwest, it's a little bit of a different vibe for most guys. What's the biggest thing you miss about the East Coast?
Probably like deli sandwiches, to be honest. Get your bacon, egg, and cheese. But you can't really get that over here, so.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. I miss the bagels, too, down New York, too. So Stamford, Connecticut, too, is where you're from. And the move to college, I know it's one of those questions of guys trying to figure out when they're going to head off to college, and you for making the commitment to go to New Hampshire. What was kind of the deciding factor for you that made you commit to go to the University of New Hampshire?
You just want to go somewhere where you feel comfortable and at the end of the day, if you have to think about if you're going to get hurt or you're going to be able to stay there for 4 years and have a good time and just be comfortable with your situation there. So at the end of the day, you just got to go where you feel most comfortable and where you can see yourself be.
So let's kind of talk a little bit off the ice and just for you, just getting adjusted to being in the new place and in a new area and everything. Just trying to get accustomed to Bloomington normal life and with your billet family and everything like that. How has it been getting to know the new family here and trying to kind of dive into the Bloomington normal area? What's the biggest thing that you've noticed from the billets? Let's start there.
The billets, they've been pretty great coming in and then just welcome me big arms. So they made it pretty easy, good transition for me. So that's always a good thing to have here, And
as far as just being, adjusted to not only that, but new teammates, new friends, and everything like that, it's got to be just kind of a culture shock at times for guys, and you kind of freak. At least it would make me kind of freak out a bit. But it's at the same time you've been doing it for a long time. Is it a little bit of strange to be in a new place and trying to get to know new guys, or is it kind of welcoming with big arms?
Yeah, it's welcoming. You meet these people you meet now, you're gonna know for the next 20 years of your life, and you'll be talking about the times that you had in junior hockey. So the more people you meet is the better.
So one thing that I think we should talk to, by the way, we're talking to Jason Kalinowski, number 20 for your Bloomington Thunder on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show right here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois. Come on out. You can check us out at 6 o'clock on the show here at the Firehouse Pizza and Pub, and you can also check it out on bloomingtonthunder.tv where we air the show every Monday and catch the re-air on Cities 92.9 in the morning on Saturdays. And J-Cal, just the one thing that always – it kind of enlightens me about coming down to the locker room and talking to the guys. It seems like you are one of the more joking guys in the have one of the a liked guy and somebody who's light in the locker room, but is it just kind of a different sense of humor? I know you kind of have a little bit of a different take on humor than a lot of guys, but I know Coach Williams kind of gives you a little bit of an edge sometimes with that. Is that kind of how you've seen your role?
I like to have a good time, but, when it comes down to it, I think it could be serious when you need to be, but, you need a person where, that can lighten up people when it's all tensed up. So I try my best.
And being a serious player at times as well, how tough is it to find the balance of that and knowing, the difference between that? Because, again, it's very important to keep the locker room light. And we talk about it with the coaches all the time. You never want to have a locker room that is fully serious all the time. You want to have fun with it because you guys do play a sport for what you guys do. How hard is it to find that balance?
I think once you get on the ice, then people kind of get a little more serious into the game, and then it's like go time. So like at the end of the day, we know we're trying our best, and then if we just got to keep it light and then go from there.
We're talking with Jason Kalinowski, forward for your Bloomington Thunder, committed to the University of New Hampshire, and I think one of the things we like to ask guys as well about the college life is getting to know what kind of a student that you'd like to be at the same time of being a college athlete and everything you have to balance the schoolwork. What's the one thing that you'd be interested in studying when you hit college?
To be honest, probably business. They have a good little opening a new business center over there in New Hampshire, 2015. So looking forward to going into that.
And business, I know, talking to my dad, business is one of those degrees where you come out and you're like, okay, well, I got a business degree, so I could do just about anything. Do you have any specific thing that you think you might be interested in?
Not specific. That's what I'm going for, just having that business degree and then going out from there.
Going finding the job afterward. Yeah. That's not a bad plan either. And also with hockey, and pretty good hockey player as well. When you're growing up in Connecticut, again, it's a completely different idea of hockey than it really is if you're in Canada, if you're in Minnesota. No. But at the same time, you got to find your way to try and get to the USHL. What was your road like getting here?
I played mid Fairfield for my youth hockey, and then went to boarding school my sophomore year. Played there for 3 years at Salisbury Prep School. Then was fortunate enough to get drafted by Cedar Rapids during my senior year of high school. And then went to the camp that following summer. Then I was lucky enough to make the team. So
and as far as just beginning to start to play hockey, there's some guys that just kind of take to it and originally, but at the same time, there's some parents who kind of introduce it to them young. Was that the way your parents were? Were you introduced to it pretty young?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my family, all my kind of like the baby cousin, so played, and my brother played, so it was kind of just in the family, so kind of grew on me.
Did everybody go that same route and make it the USHL or the junior hockey route?
Everyone else kind of just played in the public high school in our town and went on to play club hockey at UConn.
Well, that's not too bad. No. Not too bad. Hey, I played club hockey. It's a good time. I'll tell you that for sure. We're talking with Jason Kalinowski here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show. Definitely come on out. Every Monday we have the show here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois. You're going to want to check out on this weekend. However, we got a couple games coming up, one of which is at home. It's this Saturday at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum, and $7 ticket vouchers are available all over town. If you want, take a look at that. This is one of the ticket vouchers that you could grab all around town, or head on out to our social media outlets and definitely look for those. You can print them off and bring them to the box office. It gets you $7 tickets and a free popcorn, and it is sponsored by Method Sports Performance, so definitely come on out. It should be a good time. And obviously, 2 tough games coming against the Madison Capitals and another expansion team in the United States Hockey League. You guys have faced them a couple times this year. What's been kind of the biggest trouble for you against the Capitals? I know it's been pretty successful, but what is one of the biggest challenges that they bring to the table?
I think they like to be physical, and a lot of teams in the league, you can find weaknesses in that aspect of their game, but I think Madison's real physical. They like to get dirty, do those little things, and I think it's going to be a good test for us this weekend.
And another big body on their team. They got a guy who's 6'4", 213 pounds or something like that, going against a group of guys who do have a little bit of size at times. But for the most part, this hockey team is a smaller group. How do you go about playing a physical game? I know you guys like to kind of scrap a little bit, but a lot of speed is used by this hockey team. How do you go about counteracting a physical hockey team?
The saying is the bigger they are, the slower they are. So we try to put pucks behind them and get to them quick and make it hard for them to play and put constant pressure on them to make good plays.
So you're a guy who's been in the USHL for a couple of years, and I think there's things to be said about guys who've been in the league for a while. You're able to teach some of the younger guys and bring them in, bring kind of under your rope. And you got a couple new guys into the system this past weekend. You had younger guys with the team all year, and Van Bar, Tarek Baker. What kind of things were you able to help them out with and bring to their attention so that they're able to develop as hockey players and make this team better?
Just to know it's a long season. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. 60 games is a long season for these guys. Just come in here, normally probably playing shorter amount of games, and definitely the level of play is probably a little higher too. So just getting accustomed to having to bring it every night. You never know who's watching, and just leave it all out there.
Hey, fans, you can ask any questions to our remaining guests. We got Jason Kalinowski and Nikolas Koberstein, who are going to be on the mic. He'll be on the mic in just a couple seconds. You can head to our Bloomington Thunder Twitter account at BLM Thunder, or tweet at us using the hashtag #OffTheTracks to ask any questions. We do have one already coming in for Jason here. And one of the big questions, I've noticed it too down in the locker room, you do tend to have a lot of cuts on the face. And I know it's a lot of high sticks that happen, but I mean, what is the magnifying effect of getting a high stick in the face for you?
I don't know. Redheads really have sensitive skin, so anything that touches my face winds up getting scarred. And my mom's always said I'm going to marry like a doctor who's going to fix up my face nice and well.
You got one right now. Where did that one come from?
Yeah, right in the nose. First shift of the game, got high stuck, so it was a good way to start.
Now, and hockey players are really tough, and when you get a high stick in the face, I know trainer Matt Aiello for the team, he does best to stitch guys up and get them back out on the ice. Does it come into your mindset when you're during the game after you've gotten one up top, or does it kind of just go away with the pain of just playing and the adrenaline?
Yeah, the adrenaline kind of takes over, and as long as we have 2 points at the night, doesn't scars you have. So.
Well, Jake, I'll definitely get 2 points this weekend. I'd like 4 points against
we'll
Capitals
here
for sure. In a back-to-back weekend. Best of luck, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
That's forward Jason Kalinowski for your Bloomington Thunder. We will be right back in just a couple minutes. Nikolas Koberstein is going to be on the mic here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in Normal, Illinois. Don't go anywhere.
The Bloomington Thunder have burst onto the USHL scene at the US Cellular Coliseum. Ticket plans for the Thunder season can be purchased through the Thunder office, so call 309-434-2980 to get your tickets today. Bloomington Thunder Hockey will sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Wow, look at all our signage in here.
I did that.
You design signs?
Fast Signs does. I send them ideas and logos through fastsigns.com, and they deliver innovative sign solutions.
But that must take all season.
Not at all. Fast Signs create signs on almost any surface, any size and quantity, in no time at all.
They're almost as talented as me.
You should take a time out.
Country Financial rep Richard Pittman has been to every home game since 1981, which is why on game night, you won't find him in the office. You'll find him cheering on his favorite team.
Section 223.
After all these years, he's gotten to know his neighbors in the stands pretty well. He's even helped some of them with their policies.
Let's see. Oh, there's Jim and Colleen in row M, Bill and Linda in row P, and Pete and his sons Brandon and Kurt in row K.
You get the idea. Richard loves hockey, and he loves helping his community. It's why Country Financial offers everything from auto, home, and life insurance to business, retirement, and college savings, too. So now everyone in Section 223 can relax and think about the things that really matter.
Like our third-line defense.
For more information on making a game plan of your own, visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
Grow your own way.
Starplex Cinemas in Normal, Illinois features state-of-the-art sound and 100% digital projection. Relax and enjoy our spacious rocker seating along with our great low ticket prices. All shows before 6 p.m. are $6, and kids, seniors, and students pay $6 all day long. Starplex also offers $1 hot dogs and a free loyalty program where you receive $1 spend the box office. Redeem your points for free popcorn, drinks, and even movie tickets. For tickets and showtimes, visit StarplexCinemas.com.
From the moment you walk through our doors to the moment you take your new vehicle home, we'll take care of you every step of the way. At Jaguar Land Rover, just welcome you to our dealership. We welcome you to our family. We have the largest selection of new Jaguar and Land Rover vehicles in Central Illinois, as well as a fine selection of quality pre-owned vehicles to fit any budget. No matter how much you spend on a vehicle, at Jaguar Land Rover Peoria, you'll get world-class service every time you walk through our doors. Visit us today at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
At Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers, our patients' first philosophy is no empty promise. A dedicated team of physical and occupational therapists. We're here whenever you need us. With over 170 locations, we offer morning and evening appointments. Just call 877-97-REHAB. That's 877-977-3422. Or visit acceleratedrehab.com. Accelerated Rehabilitation Centers. Putting patients first.
Carry your branch with you, securely accessing your money anytime, anywhere. Download the Busey mobile app to deposit checks, view recent transactions, find a branch or ATM, transfer funds, and even pay bills, all on your schedule. Visit Busey.com or your app store today for Busey's innovative banking solutions. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come on down to the Great Harvest Bread Company and try our specialty breads made in-house daily. We make our bread fresh every day using ingredients from all local Bloomington businesses. Check out our website, greatharvestblm.com, for a list of our daily specials, including sweets, soups, and jams. We also have Goodbye Gluten Tuesdays and No Nut Fridays for anyone with allergies. Need something for a special occasion? Let us create a gift box for you. So stop by the Great Harvest Bread Company at 1704 Eastland Drive in Bloomington, open 7 to 6 Tuesday through Friday and 7 to 5 on Saturdays, or give us a call at 662-8500 and try us today.
There are many reasons to change cars.
I want a lower payment. Now,
I need better mileage. We're ready for more room. Frankly, I just hate my old car.
What's right for one person might not be right for you. SEFQ helps you get the car you want and a loan payment that fits your budget with low rates and no hidden fees. Call Phone a Loan and get a pre-approved loan in minutes. SEFQ, not a bank, better.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's our third and final segment on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub in downtown Normal, Illinois. We thank you for being a part of the show. Big thank you to Assistant Coach and Director of Scouting Dan Jewell and to forward Jason Kalinowski for coming on the program. And now we've got the defenseman and the NHL draft pick in Nikolas Koberstein here, ready to go for the Bloomington Thunder's Off the Tracks Coaches Show. And I appreciate the time here, Cobes, for that you're taking out right now.
Oh, no, thanks for having me.
So obviously, I think the first question is, and I know you gave me some hassle about it at times earlier in the year, but it's worth saying. You are the first NHL draft pick to play hockey in Bloomington. And I mean, not only, I'm assuming that the NHL drafting was a little bit a bigger thing, but it's also got to be nice to be that one guy in the first year of an expansion organization to be an NHL draft pick, right?
It's kind of neat, I guess, if you think about it, but I'm sure there'll be many more to come. So, and
obviously with that as well comes the NHL draft and being that pick for the Montreal Canadiens and going to those camps and everything, trying to get ready. And I think the future is one of those things that kind of looks forward for you, and it always shows a little bit of hope. But let's talk about that camp and going in the off season and being able to be a part of that. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was crazy. It was amazing, really, because you dream of that ever since you're a young kid, and just being there is so honoring and just a great experience to be out there with such great players and great coaching and amazing management. And you look at the history in that dressing room, and it's just crazy to be there. And just talking with a lot of guys in professional hockey, junior hockey, anytime you're able to go to a camp, not only is it kind of a little bit of an experience where, like you said, you get to see how much history goes through the organization and everything, but at the same time, you're able to learn a lot about the game and learn a lot about the pro life. What was the biggest thing you took away from being up there? just how every single thing you do has to have a reason, and all the time those guys are always on. Like I watch Andrei Markov and PK Subban and those guys, and they don't take 1 second off their day. They're always trying to get better than the people next to them. So.
And for you, coming from you're from Canada, so being able to be a part of a historic organization like the Montreal Canadiens. So once you get that call on draft day and you're able to to say that you're a Montreal Canadiens draft pick, what was the whirlwind of emotions kind of like on that day?
Pretty crazy, actually. Like just going is something else, but then also just being to the Habs is crazy. A team that's won 24 Stanley Cups is just amazing. Like so much history in that organization. And the tradition is just fantastic. Such a great organization.
So we'll talk about you a little bit and where you came from as well. Like we mentioned, a guy from Canada and north of Edmonton, Alberta. And for everybody in the United States, it doesn't seem like there's a lot north of Edmonton. And to be able to be in that snow belt area, really, for you growing up, and what was your lifestyle like growing up and everything?
Well, I grew up on the farm playing hockey with my friends on the streets all the time, and I guess I was skating when I was 3 and played minor hockey in Barhead. Had great coaches there, and then moved on to Spruce Grove and St. Albert for midget hockey, and then went on to play in Olds Junior A last year, and then lucky enough to be down in the USHL this year.
And when you were in playing in Canada in juniors and making that move this year, what was the decision that you wanted to make that pursuing factor to the North American game here in the U.S.?
It's a great transition step to go to the college. So I'm headed up to Alaska next year as a plan. So it's just a great transition step with the speed of the game down here. It's just a fantastic league.
Now, you mentioned Alaska being a part of the Alaska-Fairbanks Nanooks in the future, and just making the decision to go to college. It's everybody's kind of dream here in the USHL to get that college commitment. For you, what were you looking for in a college, and that made you say, all right, I want to go to Alaska-Fairbanks?
The coaches were really committed to me. They really put their efforts out there for me. They were very committed to helping me. They came down and visited me like 4 times before I was even committed to them, and that just really made me feel good about that place. I got along with them right away. Great group of guys up there, and just a great hockey club.
What's the college campus like up in Alaska? I mean, granted, I've never been up to Alaska in general, but I mean, just thinking about going to college in Alaska, it makes you think that you're going to Canada for college. It doesn't make me think like you're staying in the U.S. So what's the campus like and the environment like up there at Fairbanks?
It's a pretty neat area. I went up there and visited last January. I didn't get to see too much. I was just kind of on campus and in the rink, so I didn't get a tour of the town too much or anything. But I just hear it's a beautiful city and everything up there, and I enjoy being outside and in the outdoors, so that's good for me. Definitely, everybody always complains about the weather, but really, it's not that bad.
I've heard it's just, I mean, outside of the cold weather, and for you just being, from just outside of Edmonton and everything, I've heard the weather is the one thing, but I've also heard it's gorgeous out there as well. Just being, up there, the mountains, the whole scenery. I heard it's fantastic. So
yeah, it's pretty neat. Northern Lights and mountains. It's very nice.
Just being able to be a part of it's got to be great. Well, we're talking with Nikolas Koberstein here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show as Bloomington gets ready to take on the Madison Capitals here in 2-game set on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum. It is the Method Sports Performance Pucks, Paws, and Popcorn Night. So you get a $7 ticket voucher around Bloomington Normal, or head to our social media outlets, print off one, bring it to the box office. You get a $7 ticket and popcorn, and it's also Paws and Pucks Night in benefit of the Wishbone Canine Rescue. So definitely come on out and support the cause and bring some dog food, cleaning supplies, toys, anything to help benefit the rescue shelter for this hockey game. And Cobes, let's kind of talk about your move and being from. You started the season with the Sioux Falls Stampede. You come over in a trade to Bloomington, part of the Expel, and working with the coaches, and now also working with not only our coaches but Alaska-Fairbanks, Montreal at the same time. It's got to be kind of a little bit of an overwhelming task at times for you to kind of weigh what's going on for you, and how do you approach each day of training and getting ready for the next step?
I just look at it to be such a great opportunity, having such great coaches, always giving you great advice, and especially here in Bloomington and with Montreal and Alaska, all those coaches just know so much about the game, and you can take so much in So every day is important, just trying to get better and get to the next level.
And for you, getting to adjust and be a kind of a leader for some of the younger guys on this team, and obviously first year in the USHL, there's a bit of a learning curve as well, but also trying to work with some of the younger guys. What kind of wisdom are you able to bring to them that you've learned in your time as a hockey player?
One thing, I just try and lead more by example. Not talking isn't always the best thing. I like to talk when the opportunity is there, but at the same time, leading by example is a great way to go. I always watch guys better than me who are on the next level already, and you can just learn so much just by watching their game. Like watching NHL every night, and you can learn so much by just watching the defenseman.
We're finishing up here with Nikolas Koberstein, the defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder. And again, another tough weekend for the Thunder coming up against the Madison Capitals here at the U.S. Cellular Coliseum on 7 o'clock start on Saturday night. And 2 games that Bloomington, again, down to that playoff stretch they could really use against the Madcaps. And 2 expansion organizations, like we mentioned. What's kind of the main thing that you're focused on for this weekend and the team really needs to work on during this week of practice?
Basically just stick to our systems and play to them. We trust our coaches, and we trust that they have the right systems for us. So if we follow them, we'll get the job done. And if we're all prepared, everybody's ready to go, I think we'll get the job done.
Now, just one final question, too, about just being from Canada and growing up on the farm, because you mentioned it earlier, and it's a little bit of a different environment than most guys are used to. And just for you, what was it like growing up on the farm and kind of learning a little bit of a different work ethic, too, that some guys might not have gotten without living up on that area of the world?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. You learn so much about working and responsibility. There's so much responsibility growing up with chores and taking care of the cattle, taking care of the calves, making sure crops are in the ground. So you just learn so much about hard work and responsibility and accountability.
Well, Cobes, I appreciate the time here. Best of luck in this upcoming weekend, and best of luck in the future. Definitely give me a call when you make it up to the Canadiens, right?
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
That's Nikolas Koberstein, defenseman for your Bloomington Thunder. And that's all the time we have here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show, right here from Firehouse Pizza Pub in Normal, Illinois. For Coach Dan Jewell, for Jason Kalinowski, and this guy to my right, Nikolas Koberstein. Brian Tossi saying so long. We'll see you this Saturday, 7 o'clock start, coming up again for the Bloomington Thunder against the Madison Capitals. Don't want to miss out on it. It is the Method Sports Performance, Pucks, Paws, and Popcorn Night. Get a $7 ticket voucher by heading to the Bloomington Thunder social media pages, or grab your voucher around town in the Bloomington Normal area. We've got tons of them out there, so definitely go out and find one. We'll see you next time. Definitely see you on Saturday night. Have a good night, and we'll see you next time.